Good morning, everybody. Hey, it's Becky from Power Tools with Thread. You are in our Stitchuation room. And Frito, here comes Frito. She hears me start talking. This is a virtual stitching retreat where I hope I can inspire you to put something under the needle and you guys follow me along on my quilting journey. Today, we're going to do some cutting. But first things first, the dog, right? The dog. Okay. I've got you turned this way because I'm going to go on the other side of the cutting table, and Frito can't get back there with all the cords and whatnot. And there she is. Come here, pretty girl. You're going to sit on that rug, aren't you? So I'm going to have to turn the camera. She says, well, I don't want to sit on the floor, Mom. It's cold. It's cold on the floor. Yeah, it's cold on the floor. Here, there's your little biscuit. Good. There's your Dave biscuit. Dave's back from Amsterdam. He can watch. Yes, he's off for 30 days. There you go. Good girl. Good girl. Awesome. Sweet little baby girl. All right, let's get that done. So, okay, priority one has been taken care of now. I can get on with the rest of my life. All right, lots of good mornings and belly rubs for you, Frito. Let's take a spin, y'all. We're going to go around the room, the other direction, and not stare at the light. There we go. There we go. Okay. There's my ironing station. Okie dokie. We've got some cutting to do this morning. Let me bring this in and we will come this way just a little bit. All right. Let's see if I can do this without disconnecting all of my cameras. That would be nice. Let me turn this one on too. We're going to need it. So hope you guys are doing well. Things are great here. I disconnected my camera. Yeah, I sure did. So you guys hold on tight here. This is what happens when you move things around. Okay, sorry about that. Hold on one second. Let me go into my settings. Let's do this. There we go. Ta-da. Sorry about that, guys. That happens. I know. There went the camera. Well, when you move things around, it goes. Sorry. So I'll have to have a conversation with my cameraman lady, me. All righty. Where's my coffee? I'm not moving well. Ta-da! Candace says, ta-da! She's back. She's back. Yeah. Hey, you guys, this is a t-shirt from Bee Inspired Tees, BEE Inspired Tees. I got a link to them below. Last day to get confirmed pretty much before Christmas shipping in the US is the 4th, which is what, tomorrow? Yeah. So that's where I got this. I like a little sewing mojo. So this is a great little gift, if for you or a sewing friend. And they've got different colors and different styles too with the same saying. So you can pick what you want. So if you are at a loss for a gift for a quilty buddy, here you go. That's a deal. Cutting, mug, lid, firm flat bottom, no wobbling. Okay. We don't need any kind of drama on the cutting table, right? Let's see what's going on. 77,000 subscribers. I know, Marcia, isn't that crazy? Don't you people have anything to do? I know. Oh, we got some folks from down under. That's nice. Great to see you guys. It's such a blessing to have you in my life. All righty. So I forgot to tell you guys yesterday, and there's a reason I forgot. I forgot to tell you guys yesterday that this week so yesterday was Cyber Monday, right? And 2024, if you're watching 2 years from now. And the 3rd, which is today, through the 6th, Friday, is getting ready for Countdown to Christmas for Sewing Machines Plus. Well, I do Takeover Tuesday on Tuesdays, and that's an hour long. I just run the show. It's just me, and there's no Blaine and nobody. They go, hey, we're counting down, and they send me live, and I never hear from them again. So there are 5 Tuesdays this month, and I get the first Tuesday of the month. And then I saw on the schedule that Countdown to Christmas was going on the first Tuesday, which is today. So there won't be any Takeover Tuesday, but I'm scheduled for the it's like the 31st of December, maybe, or the 29th. I can't remember. The last Tuesday of the month is when I'll be on this time for Takeover Tuesday. And then you get me again the following week because it's the first Tuesday in January. Anyway, so I was sitting there looking around on YouTube. I just popped into YouTube yesterday after I finished editing. And I saw Blaine's face pop up on their video that they're doing for Cyber Monday. And that got me to thinking, oh, let me double check my schedule and make sure I'm not on tomorrow and I'm just on the last Tuesday of the month, right? This is my life. I know it's boring. I'm sorry. So I go to dig around in the schedule and I got to find the email. So I type in Sew Machines Plus and it comes up in my search in my email. And I see an email with attachments for countdown to Christmas and an email for attachments for Cyber Monday. So countdown to Christmas is the one I was like, well, I wonder if I'm on that. Oh yeah, I'm on that. 11:30 their time Pacific. So 1:30 today and tomorrow I will be on Countdown to Christmas Sewing Machine Plus's live. And when I saw that, I thought, well, okay. I don't remember anybody telling me I was going to do that. And I never opened I guess I just didn't, I don't know what. Shame on me, right? So then it got me to thinking, well, let me look at Cyber Monday and see what's going on there. Oh, I was on live yesterday too. And it said 1:45. And I look up and it said 1:10. And I was like, ah. But it's 1:45 their time. So 3:45 my time. Y'all, I was hustling yesterday. I was changing my backdrops, making sure my cameras were all good to go, moving things around, thinking about what am I going to talk about? I hadn't planned, y'all, seat of my pants. Ah. Yeah, I'm a professional. Absolutely. So is Keith going to help out with the countdown to Christmas shows, Bernadette? Bernadette was there. I could get him in there. I should have had him in there yesterday, right? Because I showed his Sculliver pattern and the quilt and how pretty all the stitching was on that. So thank you. Cindy was there. She says I did good. Yo, I was flying. Oh my goodness. It was crazy. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. So I'm on board now. I was telling Keith, oh, good Lord. Thank goodness. I had the wherewithal to even look at those emails. And then like an hour prior, it pops up on the reminder on my calendar. I just forgot, completely forgot. I was a pro. Yeah, right. So anyway, it was good. It was good. I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. And then when we started, so yesterday was only a 15-minute slot. Today and tomorrow, 30-minute slots. So a 15-minute slot, and I set my timer real quick for 14 minutes so I would know when to shut up. And I hit start and I started talking because I was talking with Blaine. I didn't want to be fiddling with my phone on camera. And it just never went off. So I kept on talking 4 minutes into the next slot. I was able to put it together last minute, Carrie. Yeah, I was. I know. Y'all, by the grace of God, I'm telling you. That's right, Julianne. As God's watching out for me, going, hey, you've got something to do. Too funny. Oh my goodness. You guys bought up or are buying up the Family Favorites book for the Brightly Sampler Sew Along. That's going to be so much fun. And we were talking about it yesterday. I'm seeing that about 20 of y'all bought up this book yesterday. There's still more available at the Fat Quarter Shop. And we're going to be sewing this Brightly Sampler quilt right here. See how pretty that is? And we start December 16th. So get yourself a fat quarter bundle and 33 to 35 fat quarters. And it takes 35. So 17 fat eighths and 18 fat quarters. So I will be supplementing in some fabrics that work with this line. and then 3.5 yards of background fabric. You might have it laying around your stash, but it's a good opportunity to use it up. So we're going to be making that together. We will cover a lot of the stuff I'm covering here right now too, pressing and cutting. So for those of you that are embroiderers and not quilters, come on, you've got a fat quarter bundle somewhere. I know you do. All righty. Or it's a good excuse to go get one, right? Okay, you got your book, Spiral Bound. You know, Quilt Wrench. I keep on calling you Wrench. Quilt Wench. I'm just going to call you Quilt. I don't know. I need to do that. I need to take this over to the UPS store and get them to spiral bound it for me. Spiral bind. So Star Raymond's doing the Brightly sampler so long. Y'all, Star hangs out in all of the online sewing shop sales, anything live. Star's there. She hangs out all over the place. So, oh no. Diane says taxes are due. Y'all, we're not talking about that. I'm not doing. Vicky says, I need no excuses. That's great. Okay, we're going to have a good time with that. That'll be fun. And for those of you that are beginner quilters, you know, you're going to be able to do this. I'll talk you right through the whole thing. For those of you that are more seasoned, I look forward to hearing you chime in on the lives or in the comments below and giving your 2 cents worth. So be kind, right? And gracious. We need that in our lives. All righty. Today I am cutting. Hi, Deborah. Thanks for joining us. Scotty Dog, is the kitchen open? I think there's hot coffee and pastries in the kitchen. Wander over there, you guys, and hit the thumbs up button if you wouldn't mind. And if you're new here, flip my calendar. Okay. If you're new here, let us know in the chat. Okay. I've got a sunshine committee wandering around. I got my next one for 2025. Look at that. This calendar by the yard. These are so fun. They're little quilting fun calendars. So, and then Diane from Australia, she sent me another one of these. She sends me the Jen Kingwell or some kind of Australian calendars. And it's over on the other side of the room. So no matter where I am, I know what day it is. How fun. Yeah, good to see you guys. Someone put an apple pie in the virtual kitchen. Did they? Oh, boy. Is there any Cool Whip or some kind of topping? Ice cream, something like that? Let's put this up. There we go. What day is it? Tuesday the 3rd. Yay. Okay. You're having trouble using the wool batting. When you did a tack down, it made a tuck at the end. What did I do wrong? Mary Rose, I don't think you did anything wrong. I am not a fan. This is just me personally. Not a fan of wool batting. And I have got it's a cotton bamboo, or is it wool bamboo underneath the quilt that's on the long arm right now? I have that in there. Boy, that just shifts everywhere. I hate it. I hate it. It just moves around. So what I ended up doing on that one was, before I ever quilted it, I was going to float the top. I ended up not floating it. And I went down and I basted that entire quilt top down before I got to quilting on it. So, oh, gosh. Okay. So we're going to do the Brilliant Snowflake block. Let's change cameras. And that is this one right here. Show you guys. See the Brilliant Snowflake block. That's what you'll notice, that quilters, designers will call the same blocks many different names. Hi, Anita. Thanks for joining us. They'll call it many different names. And so try not to get all hung up on, well, that's what it's called. That's one thing. Okay. If you're brand new, then you guys are having too much fun in that kitchen. I can hear it now. Okay. Just try not to get all hung up on block names, because you might see it. If you're brand new to quilting and you see Brilliant Snowflake block, go looking for instructions on a Brilliant Snowflake block. You won't find it anywhere because it's called something else in another pattern. So a lot of times quilt designers will take a block that is a standard block in the quilting world and give it another name that corresponds with the theme of their pattern. So that's something, right? Okay. All righty. So I keep my fabrics in little clear tins, so clear plastic bins, so I can find them. Okay, there you go. And so I've got all of my colors in one and my backgrounds in another. You can store them any way you want. You can leave them in the bundle. I just find that it helps to pull them out of the bundle and get them into some kind of container. That way they're easy to pull and easy to put back, and you can find these things. Okay, so first thing I do is pull my fabrics. And so I've got to do the background, which is that hated directional fabric. Okay. You guys are having fun. Okay. And if I ever have extras left over from a previous cut, I will keep these with the parent fabric so that when I go to do another cut, for instance, I've got all kinds of 2.5-inch squares that need to be cut for this particular block, and I have some leftover 2.5-inch strips. So I will use these up. So don't, that's just an easy thing to keep all of the fabrics together so you can cut them when you need them. And I need to put my glasses on because I can't see. And my other background print I need is the Latte Inner Star background print. This is the Latte, which is the Away in a Manger music sheets, which is very cool. Look at that. Isn't that neat? Okay. There you go, Pamela. Dumpster dive, my friend. She rescued some baskets from being pitched at her pharmacy. There you go. Yep. Love that. Okay. So that's the only background fabric that I need is this, the Manger, that Latte print. She calls it Latte. That's the name of the fabric, the Latte. Okay. I also keep something from, this came off the box from the kit. Okay. Or maybe it's a pattern, it's a skew sheet of all of the fabrics or something with the fabric. So you know what it goes to. I know what it goes to. I try to keep that in there. Okay. And then I'm going to pull these fabrics. Let's see. I need the red with the little tossed daisy flowers. Here it is. And then the aqua, let's see. That's the same print that's on, no, it's not. Okay, I need this one. I need the green, this one, and the center yellow daisies. There we go. Those are the fabrics that I need. Okay, so I've got all of my fabrics pulled. Cool. Now, I do like to use, this is a project board. This is a Lori Holt. Matter of fact, this looks like it has music notes in the fabric around the edges. You can make your own. Lori Holt has a video on YouTube of how to make these. This is a poly batting that's on here. This is the 14 by 14. Yeah, it says Away in a Manger on there. It's the exact, it's from the same line. How about that? I might even have that fabric in here somewhere. So, do I have that? I do. Look at that. I've got that fabric in here. How about that? So, I find the 14 by 14 to be the best size for these. But you just need something, whether it's this or an Easy Stacks or whatever it is. You need something to hold all your pieces so you can move them around. You'd be surprised. So once you get finished cutting at the table, you can just pick up your board and head over to the sewing machine. So that's really handy. Okie dokie. Now I've got to get this pressed. So let me show you how I think when I cut. Okay. Let me show you how I think when I cut. I can see here, I'm just going to show you this. Okay. So I can see here, I need 2.5 by 4.5 of this one fabric. Okay. So they've got it broken down. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, H, I. Okay. Right. So of the A's, there's a little dotted line right here. Okay. So this is 2.5 by 4.5, and B is 4 2.5-inch squares, and 16, C is 16 2.5-inch squares. All right. So the largest width that I need to cut is 4.5. So that's going to be the first cut that I make of the width of fabric is 4.5. I won't use it all for A, but what's left I'll use for B and C. See? So that's kind of how I do that. And it works out really well, and you actually end up using less fabric that way, believe it or not, from the way the pattern is designed. I only press there, y'all, there's 7 yards of this stuff, something crazy, right? So I only press just as much as I'm going to need, and I have it in an accordion style fold so that I can easily get the end right here and just press what I need. And so because managing this is kind of a thing, right? So I'm going to need a minimum of 3 cuts of this according to the pattern, a strip for A, a strip for B, and a strip for C. But I'm just going to press a little bit of it. And then I'm just going to cut off the end. I do not recommend, I'm sorry, my back is to you. I do not recommend cutting off a chunk and then subcutting that. Don't do that. You'll waste a load of fabric. So I am not using steam, okay? And I am just pressing. And I'm going either with the grain, either horizontally or vertically. I do not go diagonally. Heat and steam can warp your fibers in your fabric. So I'm just going to press this out. All right. Good enough. Again, sorry my back was to you. Let me turn this way. So when you get your fabric, you're going to have a bolt fold. I got that term from Gudrun. I'm going to steal it from her. She's awesome. So of GE Designs. So I have the bolt fold and I have the selvage. Okay. Let me put this up here. So I'm just going to lay, and it does not matter which way you cut, bolt fold towards you or the selvage towards you. It doesn't matter, just so long as it's straight without bumps and whatnot. Okay. You were going to say to cut off chunks at a time. Okay. You can do what you want. This is how I do it, y'all. Okay. Whatever ruler you start cutting your fabric with, use that for your whole project so that the lines are the same no matter what. Some rulers have thicker lines, and you guys will ask inside the line, outside the line. Do I use the lines on the ruler? Do I use the lines on the mat? Y'all, whichever line you use to start with, use that throughout the life of the project, okay? You can figure that out. To me, this edge right here, if I had a jagged edge, which I don't, this is very straight, then I would cut this just a hair too big, flip it around and trim it up to clean it up. So right now I need a 4.5-inch strip. Let me back this up. I don't want to knock it off the table. That would not be cool. And I'm just going to measure this up. But well, it looks like I've got a little bit of a crooked edge here because my line on the ruler is straight with the selvage, and it's straight right here, and the fabric kind of curves off while it's laying straight. So I'm going to make it just a tiny bit bigger, not even 1/4 inch. Okay. And this needs to be 4.5. I'm going to hold my hand back here well away from the edge, start on the outside of the fabric, not on it, and hold it straight and push and walk my hand up like that. And then before you move the ruler, pull the fabric away and make sure you got a clean cut. And then I can flip this around. Doesn't matter if it's straight on the mat because I'm using the lines on the ruler. That's good. Okay. Perfect. So there's my first 4.5 inch cut. So this is how I conserve fabric. I'm not even going to cut the next one yet. Because remember, I do have some 2.5 inch strips from previous cuts. Okay. I need a break. Do I need to cut my borders length of fabric first? If you do, the pattern will generally tell you to do that. But most of Lori Holt's patterns have you cut width of fabric and diagonal seam them together for the long borders. Do I prefer a 45 or 60 millimeter rotary? I prefer the 45. I use a 60 for thicker fabrics. That's my preference. Okay. So this is ready to go. I need four 2.5 by 4.5 inch rectangles out of this strip. So I wish I had a 12 inch ruler that had a half on it, that in the Quilter Select. I don't have it. I don't have one. So I've got the 6 by 12, and this will work fine. So I'm going to just trim off my selvage, and I'm going to use the edge of the selvage and the edge of the line on the ruler to give myself a straight cut to begin with. Okay. And then I need I need 4 2.5 inch strips. I am not paying attention to the direction of this fabric. I've given up that ghost. I'm done. I can't see y'all. Okay, so 2.5. There's 2. Notice I'm cutting on the fold. Okay. I like to cut multiples that way. Quilter Select to me is the most accurate. Y'all can use what you want. All right, so there's my 4. Okay, so here is A on my project board. I need to dig out my alphabetes. Remember, my B is MIA at the moment. Where's my A? I got lots of them in here. Okay, there's my A, so that goes there. You guys can hold on a second. Okay. All right. And one thing you can do before you get going here, I should have done in prep, was to set out all of my alphabetes. I got to find that B. I bet you it's under a table or something, somewhere. So we go A through I on this one. These are all the other letters. Okay, here's C. All right. And F, G. And there's an E. See, they're not. I've got the doubles right here. Where's all my letters? You know where they're in other packages of other things. That's where they are. Yeah, I've got them in use in other things. You can use a piece of paper and write them out. So let's use the doubles instead. So there's my A and my C. And you'll sit here and watch me play with these things. I've got letters, I've got numbers, all kinds of stuff. Let's see. Alphabet tiles, alphabetes. Yes, yes. G, H, I. Okay. There's the I. Here's the G. There's the H. Okay. I got to have them all the same or it'll bother me. I get like that. Yeah. I glued some fusible fleece to the back of these so that they don't fly around on my project boards. Here's the E. Hey, you guys watch me flip these around. Just like crafting, right? D, E, F, G, H, I. Where's the B? And the I'll be done as soon as I find the B. I've got numbers in here too. You need these double sets when you're doing some Elizabeth Hartman patterns. All right. Are you guys, of course, it'll be the last one I flip over, right? There. Yep. Told you. Okay. Good. I'll sort all these out later. It'll give me something to do because I don't have anything to do. Okay. What size mat is that I'm using? My cutting mat, it's a 36 by 60. It's a Quilter Select. I just got it. I love it. Okay. So now I'm ready to finish my cuts here. I'm just going to continue on with this strip. I think, what did I need for B? I needed 4 2.5-inch squares. Yeah, let me use up this other fabric first. I'll leave that 4.5 strip up like it is because I guarantee you I'm going to need it again in the quilt, a 4.5-inch. So I've already got it cut and I'm going to hold on to this. All right. So I need 4 of these. I need 4. So I'm going to set these right on top of each other. Okay. Get my 2.5. Okay, there's B. And then C is 16 2.5s. Okay, so here's 4 for each cut that I make. Here's another strip. So that's a total of 6 for each cut that I make. Right? Okay. I did get a Stripology ruler. It's on the way. I got it on the the Black Friday weekend sale at Fat Quarter Shop. And I can't wait to play with that. So here's 6. Okay. I'm very happy with this mat. I love it, love it, love it. Okay. Here's 12. Okay. There's 14. So I could go through here and open these up and use them. A lot. Usually I don't, but since I don't have another 2.5-inch strip cut right now. What did I say that was? 14? I can't remember. Yeah, 14. So I need 2 more. All righty. And 2 more is 16. So see, I only had to cut 1 strip off of the fabric. And that's what I've got left. And I might come across needing a 1.5-inch square. So I'm holding on to that. Lori's famous for that. Okay, so there's my 16 and there's C. Perfect. So here we are. Already halfway there. So you will not be sorry you got the Stripology rulers. Yeah, Patricia, I know. I'm really looking forward to getting them. I should have picked them up at the festival, but I didn't. The alphabet tiles, Dawn, are on Fat Quarter Shop. I got a link to them below, and I have a link to the alphabeties specifically. I'd appreciate it if you'd use my link where it says ... more ... under the video. If you click that, and then it'll open up the links in the description box. Okie dokie. So there's that. And now I need 8 4.5-inch squares out of the red. So that's this. And I need to press this out. Let's see, what are you guys talking about? I think, you know, when I first started quilting and I saw those alphabetties, I was like, who needs that? I can just use sticky papers, right? Post-it notes, I thought. They don't stay. I ended up going ahead and getting them. It just was so much easier. So hubby's going to get a ding ding from the Fat Quarter Shop. That's funny. I need 4 4.5-inch squares. This is 18. Maybe I can get 4 from this, right? Maybe I can. We'll see. I think I can. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I can. The tray that's holding my laptop is in the way of this fabric. That's a straight edge. And not quite. You guys, just a couple of threads makes me nervous. It can change the shape and size of your block. So it better safe than sorry. Cut it oversized just a tiny bit. And then turn it around and get it right. Okay. Yes, Debbie says she used Post-its too, and what a hot mess. Although you do really need to put something on the back of the alphabetties, or they will slide all over your fabric. All over. Okay. So I've got a pinked edge here and the selvage edge right here. Okay. This is just my method for cutting, you guys. And I try to keep my fabric to where it'll go back in the stack with everything else when I fold it back up. I try not to fold it to a wonky size because I want it to fit nice in the container where it is so I can find it again and it doesn't slide down and get smushed. Okay. All right. I sure can. I think I can get 2 4.5s. 4.5 right here. Perfect. Yep. And another 4.5. Woohoo! Look at that. Love it. Perfect. Little bit left. Okay. Yay. All right. This is my D. And then E, I need 16 2.5-inch squares of this fabric right here. You use baggies to keep your pieces in, Peggy. That's good. Yeah, that works too. You got to label them some way. You need to label them some way. All right. This is not on a straight fold. (16 2.5-inch squares. Okay. This is directional too. I don't know that I'm going to worry about it. I will try. That's all you can do is try. And if you notice, I'm not using any starch or anything. I'm just using the sizing that is in the fabric. Okay. So I'm going to fold this in half and get myself where I can cut 2 strips at a time since I need 16. And move this over. Okay, keeping this selvage straight down here. And I'm going to oversize it just a couple of, like 1/8 of an inch at the smallest part. You don't have to be intimidated by cutting. I know a lot of you get really nervous when it comes to that. I recommend getting out your scrap basket or a piece of ugly fabric. That's what ugly fabric is for. Get some fabric you just hate and you find yourself constantly skipping over it when choosing fabrics, or cheap fabric. Okay, you can get cheap fabric as well. Whatever you've got that you don't like and you haven't gotten rid of yet because you can't, I get it. Use that to practice your cutting. This is a skill that comes with practice. Okay. I need 16. I'm going to cut 4 at a time. So I'm going to fold my pinked edge over the edge of the selvage. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Did I get all of that? Yeah. Oh, did I? Got a tiny little bit of white. Nope, did not. That happens. Okay, I'm going to cut off another little 1/2 inch just to be sure. Okay. 2 1/2. 1. 2. You have heat press envy. I think I'm getting that, the big one. Oh, you're welcome, Prepped. Yeah, she said, thanks for showing the details. Yeah. Well, as a new quilter, if you don't get this part right, you'll screw up your whole quilt. It's important. Okay. So there's 3. That's 12. Did I take too much on the half? Ah, I did. Y'all, I should have gone 1/4 of an inch instead of a half. Oh, well, I think. Let me see. There's 14. Is this 2 1/2? No. Ah! Okay, because I need 2 more squares, I'm going to cut an entire 2 1/2 inch strip. Don't take a little chunk. You know, when I cut this little piece, I was like, I wonder, I hope I don't cut too much. And I sure did. But see the white? Now, those of you that have quilted for a long time, you would have left that and just sewn it in the seam allowance. But new quilters aren't sure, okay? So I'll hold those squares because I might need a 1 1/2. You never know. Whoop. And I'm going to cut the 2 1/2. I'm going to cut a whole strip because the odds of you needing another 2 1/2 inch strip are very high. Some more pieces of that. Okay. Okay. So I'll hold on to these. Okay. And I need 2 more. So the smart thing to do is to put the white part in the selvage on the top so you can see it. That's the smart thing to do. So you don't overcut. Okay. And my last 2 blocks. When you cut multiples, it just makes life so much easier and quicker. It seems more efficient. Okay. There we go. Let's see. I want to make sure I'm not missing. What are my thoughts on AccuQuilt? Marina, my issue with AccuQuilt are the dies. Okay. If you have dexterity issues, then it's probably money well spent. This is E. Yes, 16 2 1/2 inch squares. If you have a tremor or dexterity problems and you cannot do your, you have a hard time, maybe you've got shoulder problems where you can't do this anymore, then AccuQuilt is probably a great idea. But just remember with AccuQuilt, you have to buy a separate die for every single shape. And those dies can run upwards of $30 to $50 a piece. So it's a thing where if I was going to get it, I would get like a basic set that's got the sizes in it that you use most often. And then, you know, build up and buy the dies if they're on sale, maybe a Black Friday, maybe you ask for them for gifts. It's quite an investment. Okay. It really is. Yeah. Cindy's got her dollar signs going. It is quite an investment, but for those of you that have trouble with the rotary cutter, it's invaluable because you're going to get your quilt cut exactly to size and it's going to do the multiples. See, Quilt Wench loves hers. She uses it all the time and that's great. You know, that's what I'm saying. So if I had shoulder or tremor problems or the hands, whatever, the arthritis, maybe you've got rheumatoid arthritis real bad and you can't do that I would totally get into it. Absolutely. Okay. As long as I can continue to manually cut with a rotary cutter, I'm going to continue to do that. When the time comes for me that I can't do that anymore, and I enjoy this. This is, to me, satisfies my OCD nature. Okay. My tendencies, I really enjoy the cutting. But when I get to that point, I would certainly get one. So there you go. But it's expensive. It keeps you sewing. That's right. Yeah. Elizabeth says she loves hers and it keeps her sewing. So that's good. Anything to keep you sewing, right? Okay. Her dies are for, what did you say? Rosa said her dies are for the 2.5-inch strips. It's very handy. Yeah. If, you know, so like you see me here, I'm cutting mostly 2.5 by 4.5. If you're doing some Lori Holt stuff, okay, 2.5 by 4.5. You can't go wrong when you first get an AccuQuilt to make sure you get a 2.5-inch strip cutter. So, oh, there you go. Yeah. Or maybe you're going to cut. So Pam was talking about the umbrella quilt. 40 umbrellas was a cinch. Okay. So they do make individual dies just for specific quilts too. So that may be something, right? I would cut out 40 umbrellas on my scan and cut, right? Takes a little longer than the AccuQuilt, but anyway, no, it's a great system. Absolutely a great system. I highly recommend it. And, you know, if you're in a spot where money's not an issue, God bless you. Get one. Why not? Right? Who will give Frito treats while we are on the cruise? My neighbor. I've got her trained. Okay. She's good, Dave. Promise. What's next? The green fabric. This. And I need 8 2.5-inch squares. I've used this before. I wonder if I have any left over. No, I have a 1.5-inch strip, not 2.5. Okay. So, you know, sometimes too, I know Scrappy Quilter had an AccuQuilt, and sometimes quilt shops, if they've got one, will let you use it. So that's kind of nice. That's a feature that they'll do and let you use. I went to a quilt shop. I think it was in Oklahoma. Bartlesville. Anyway, they had an AccuQuilt and they let their customers use that. So before you invest in one, if you have a local quilt shop, give them a call. Or better yet, get your friend to buy one. Then you can go over and hang out with your friend and cut. Lots of ways around that. Okay. I need 8 2.5-inch squares. This is on the fold. It's not a single piece, so I will have plenty on this one. Oh gosh. So yeah, when I get done here, I've got to get cameras all set up and everything for, I go on at 1:30 Central, 11:30 Pacific for Countdown to Christmas for Sewing Machines Plus. And I've got to go through and make sure everything's going to work the way I think it will. I've got to finish up that panel. Harriet, Quilting with Harriet. She's in Germany right now on a craft tours. She's been putting pictures in our Facebook group. And she showed me how to put two shapes together in the Pro Stitcher and then use those to quilt this quilt. So that's kind of cool. I'm going to put the selvage side up so I can see what I'm doing and just barely place the fold over that selvage edge. All right. And then cut that. Okay. Whoop. I've been using this blade quite a bit. I'm probably almost ready for a new one. 8 2.5-inch squares. So here's 4. All right, and 8. Pretty sure, right? Is that 4? Yeah. Hold on a second here. What is that about? That doesn't look accurate. Oh, did I not cut it? That doesn't look accurate at all. It is not. What are you doing, Thompson? Oh, my God. Okay. Where do I get my blades? Deborah, I only use Olfa blades. That's all. That's my preferred brand. And if somebody's having a deal on them, that's where I get them. So Quilt in a Day just had a deal where I could get 10 blades for under $30, which is dirt stinking cheap. So I snagged that online, and then Joanne will usually have them on a doorbuster. Let me trim that. There we go. So Joanne's, and I just order them in, but I try to buy them in packages of 5 or 10. That's where I get my blades. So you need to find a new sewing buddy. Aw, I'm sorry, Diane. Her BFF passed in November. Well, you got us until then. Y'all, changing your blade. Oh my gosh. It's like new lease on life. This is F right here. Okay. We're getting there. Look at that. How about that? Yeah, let me put this back in here. So, yeah. Oh, 10 blades for $9.50. Were they Olfa? I'm kind of particular about that. I have found, you guys, this is me. All right. Buy quality, they last longer. You buy not so good quality, or you're not sure of the quality. Sometimes that can be a waste of money, just like shoes. You know what I mean? Same thing. And machines. All right. Next is F, which, oh no. G. All right. G is the gold floral. So you can cut 6 layers with the AccuQuilt. Cool. Okay. I've got a little strip in here from a previous cut. Now this is where, because I don't have a whole lot of this fabric, it's not on the fold, it's a single piece. This is a little fat eighth. I am going to cut the chunk. Okay. Katie says the titanium blades last a long time. That's good. So is this 4.5 right here? I think it is. Yep. 4.5 by 4.5. I'm going to cut it just a hair larger. I have found that if you just go a tiny bit larger and cut it down to size, your accuracy is like crazy good. Okay, 4.5. Okay, there's my G. All right, moving right along. You cringe every time you try to cut more than one layer. Well, Bernadette, you'll get used to it. Like I said, that's what ugly fabric is for. Break out the tilde. Oh my God, I love it. I say that. Y'all are like, I love tilde. Too funny. Too funny. All right. So now I'm on to this. See, there's the little 1.5 inch squares. I had to have some. You never know with Lori Holt and Elizabeth Hartman. You never know. All right. I need 4 2.5 by 4.5 inch rectangles. All right. So now this fabric, while it looks directional because of the way the words are, it is not, because the words are printed different directions on the fabric. Okay, so check this out. See how they did that? So some are straight, and then you come down a little bit and they're sideways, and some are straight. So you just never know. So don't even, don't kill yourself on this. All righty. And so 2.5 by 4.5 inch rectangles. So I'm going to cut how many do I need? 8 2.5 inch squares. So I'm going to need 2 2.5 inch strips. Okay. Now, normally the first one where I cut that 4.5 inch strip, I normally would subcut from that one. I ended up not doing that this time because I had some leftover from a previous cut. So here's my first one. Well, there's our hour. It's already up. My goodness. You guys, when you get to cutting, you can spend 2 hours. So you might need to break it up sometimes. I need another strip. I know when I go to, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Is this right? Yeah, that's smooth. This is a straight cut right here. Another 2.5. So I almost got the whole block cut today. And this is just one block. Of course, I'm talking. Okay, good. And I need 4 2.5 by 4.5 inch rectangles. Okay. I try to use a smaller ruler. When I'm doing subcutting, you just get a more accurate cut. It's unwieldy to use the larger rulers. So, all right, 4.5, that's 5.5. Also, try to use as much ruler as you can to cover. Okay, so there's 4 right there. So there is H. And then I need 8 of these. Oh, I didn't need that other cut. Let's see. So here's 4. All right. And here's 8. You can even see I'm crooked on the mat. Don't worry about it. It's straight on the ruler. Okay. Excellent. Cool. I ended up not needing this strip. I don't know what I was thinking. Sometimes you're not. Okay. See what I said about cutting big chunks? So there's my 8. And here's I. All right. And we're all done. So there we go. See how my tiles are not coming off the fabric? That's because they got fusible fleece glued on the back of them. I just laid out a long strip of fusible fleece, and because that's all I had. I could have used non-fusible, and I put the bumpy side up with the glue and ran a thing of hot glue down it, and it just stuck tiles all on it and then cut them up when they were dry, and it worked great. So, all right, you guys, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you being here. Hit the thumbs up button and subscribe so we can spend more time together. Hopefully this inspired you to get cutting or get practicing cutting. Okay. We will talk to you soon. I'll see you guys in the morning. Y'all go sew something. Bye.